11 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So all during this time, where were your children? Where was the new baby? How was the baby doing?
The baby's fine. It was a
Mm-hmm.
miracle himself, yeah.
Okay.
Because the baby was, I was told that after I got out from the coma, that the baby was never going to walk, talk, because of the effect of the water in the brain. We don't know. It might impair his speeches, his walking, his thinking, anything, part of the body, because I had to tap him to draw the water out. He did have a shunt in his brain.
Okay.
And but the baby's doing great. He goes to school. He's in second grade. He's going.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's in
That's
second
awesome.
grade.
Okay. So during the time you were in the hospital, you were in a coma,
Yes, on life support.
you were on life support.
Right.
Okay. From my understanding, they wrote a death certificate
Right.
for you as well, right?
Right, because the doctor was taking care of me. I had put me on a superjet. That's what I found out. The Gwinnett Medical had got a new machine, and a new breathing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, whoever was going to be under that machine, breathing machine, either you make it or you break it, and that was it. You know, so you're not going to get out of it. And I guess I wasn't making it, and the doctor said there was no other way that they could have done anything. My health deteriorated. I had 5 heart attacks while I was in a coma.
Wow.
So they brought me back 5 times.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you were in a coma. Your baby is having surgeries during this time?
Oh, yeah. They had about 8 to 9 surgeries. Yeah.
Okay. So you're in a coma. Your baby having surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
Who's taking care of your other 2 babies? Being
France.
Your father.
Right, the father of the children had abandoned them. Basically, that's what, you know, it went on to say he was going to come back, but he never did.
He never did.
He never did. It's, 8 years that he's having his own life.
Okay. So all this time you had family support?
Yeah, well, one of the nurses at Gwinnett Medical, which I do not remember her name, had found out that I was not from South America, as that they were told that I was from New York and lived over here in Georgia. So one of the nurses had called New York and spoke to my family and spoke to my brother and let him know what was going on over here, that they need my parents as soon as possible, because according to what was going on, my husband at the time, he had authorized the hospital to go ahead and pull the life support. So
Wow. Okay. That's
yeah.
a lot. Okay. So he abused you. He beat you.
Right.
You know.
Took all the money and left.
And now he wants to pull the life support and
Right.
take your life.
Right, exactly.
Wow. If that ain't the
And
story.
bury me in South America, and that was the plan. He was going to go ahead and take my body to South America and bury me there.
So he was going to ship your body back
Right.
to South America.
Right, to Ecuador.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to get all this because this is a lot. that is a lot. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when
you're a phenomenal woman.
Right, when I saw Schiavo case on TV, the Florida woman, it just hit me again that's exactly what happened to me, because I read the medical records.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find out what happened to me, why. And one of the nurses that I was working with at the time I was at the Home Depot account, they told me, she had told me, she says, Gabby, just put it behind. Medically, it cannot be explained. There's only one answer. They said, God wants you to be here. Mm-hmm. And I said, why? And that was the first thing in my mind. Why? And I started asking God, what does he need from me to use me in his own way? Because I could not figure out why I came back.
Right.
I was clinically dead. I had 30% chance of surviving once they pulled the plug out.
Jesus.
Right. My body had basically given up. My heart had given out. You know, they had me on artificial.
Yeah, after 5 heart attacks.
Right.
Wow.
So, and I couldn't figure out, Michelle. I couldn't. And for years, I was trying to ask God, why? Why? And there's a reason that I found that everything we go through, there's a purpose.
Right.
I wrote a letter to South American, to a Catholic priest, thinking that since I'm Italian, that he would understand what was going on. And I wrote to him and let him know what happened. And I said that it would have been my husband's obligation to go ahead and pay for child support and help me out with the medical expenses on the child. Mm-hmm. My medical bill came out to 1.7 mil.
Jesus.
Yes. And my child medical bills, I think it was about $179,000. Mm-hmm. And that was only from Gwinnett, which I don't know what the Children's Hospital of Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, there was another bill. But the Lord had put people in my life. Mm-hmm. Had put people in my life. Put a wonderful lady named Sherry Healy. I was working with her at Joel, the attorney's office, mm-hmm. David Joel, and I was working with her. She had found out what happened to me. She had immediately put me back on a plan for my medical. Mm-hmm. She immediately came to the hospital, and attorney Joel had worried so much, which he helped a lot, making phone calls to the hospital, mm-hmm. and let him know that even so my family was not here, somebody was here. Right. So there was God using all these people in my way.
Another job you were at.
Right.
That's how we met.
Right, exactly.
It was through my sister.
Right.
They all were there.
Right. And I had just left the other company. Mm-hmm. You know, I had just recently left, and I was a temp at the time when I met Alicia, mm-hmm. you know. But, and the Lord had put all these people together in His own mysterious way. Mm-hmm. How do we find each other? I have no idea, but, you know, He has a purpose for meeting and putting people in your life. Who would have known after 8 years I would have met you, right?
Right, right. That's a new beginning.
And because Alicia was one of the group, they used to pray for me when I was in a coma, so she actually witnessed that where I was.
Yeah, I